Hello and welcome to my course. Now at this time we already have our game run like this. When we make function, we have a function with 2 number or 3 number or 4 number depend on what we like. Okay, so first of all, in this section, in this lecture, I will help you to finish to this game. Okay, now first of all, we want when the timer is running to 0, we have to finish our game first. Okay, so as you can see here, when we set up function with number 2, we already make countdown timer to start. So when our countdown timer come from time for answer, in here we set to 3 seconds. When time for answer come to 0, so what we need to do at that time? So to do that, I think we have to make a timer. So in here I have to make a new timer is equal to ns timer. Okay, now when we set up our function with number, beside of we quiz countdown timer, we have to make a timer to run with it. Now timer is equal to ns timer schedule. In here you can see we have a quiz and return a new ns timer object, and schedule is on the current in here. Okay, so this is a ns time interval. It's similar for time for answer. In here our target is this cell, and selector there is a function that we will call when we finish our timer. So I will call the finish game function in here, and user info we use nil and repeat if false. So when we start countdown timer in here, for example, it's 3 seconds, we also start our timer is for 3 seconds too, and when this 3 seconds come to 2, 1 and 0, we will call a finish game function. So first of all, I think we will create a finish game function. Finish game in here. So we, for example, we print out the output to check. Okay, now we can run to see the output. Here we have start button, and here we have a timer 1, 0, and here we have a finished game. Okay, so in here we have already set up our finished game. Okay, so when we finish game, I want to pull up this interface and we come back to our first interface. So I will call this function cell pull controller. This function will dismiss this controller and show us our first interface. Okay, check again. Two, 1, 0. So okay, so it shows us our first interface, and you can see here now I have to change this result to question mark. We have a function plus result here. We don't use a result in here, we use a question mark. And at this time I think I will use a little bit longer for time for answer. And now we will see start 3, 0, 1. It's okay now. So our next job is instead of for answer 1, answer 2, answer 3 button, we are using a setup function which number to check. Now we don't use this. We have to check the result. So when our user clicks on here 1 plus 2 is 3, so there is a click here. We have to check the result, check the answer here with our result that we already calculate before. So I think in here we have to make a function check. We already make a function with name CheckReason, so I think we change the CheckAnswer. Here we check answer 1. Here check answer 2. Here and check answer 3. Okay. For owner here, so I think we have to quit a CheckAnswer function now with number in. Okay. Now we have to check our answer for this button 1, button 2 and button 3. Okay. So in this answer button, what will we do? First of all, we have to stop our countdown timer. Okay. So we have countdown timer. We stop. And next, we have to stop our timer that we already created in here. For this timer, we didn't use the stop function. We have to use the invalidate. Okay. So when the user press the button to check function, we have to stop on the timer. And now from here, we have to check the result. Compare with the user choice. Okay, is we have a number that it is user choice is equal to our result. It's an identify a result in here. So because we use the result, as you can see, result variable inside of this function, so we only check this result inside of this function. If we want to check it everywhere in this game interface controller, we have to create the outside of this function. So I have to create this, the outside at here. Okay. So inside here, instead of we using var, we only using result. And we set it to 0 when we check it. Okay, we have our number equal to result, so user make correct. Okay, else we have the user make wrong answer. Okay. So when the user makes a wrong answer, if the user makes wrong answer, I think we have to finish our game. So we will call finish game. Okay. And if the user make a correct choice, first of all, we have to increase this score to 1 or 2 or 3 increase. So I think we have to create a new variable, score variable equal to 0. And now when in here, first of all we increase the score by plus increase 1. Okay. And after that we will set up score label by our score label set text. Now it's become a score. In here we use score. Okay, now we can check we can check our function again. Start. Now we have 2 minus 1 is 1. We have here. Okay, our timer is stopped. But when we choose 1, we want our game quiz a new question for us. Okay, now we will check in here. Okay, now we will check in here. We have a start and our game start. 1 plus 2 equal 3. Okay, now we stop our timer. Is okay, and score is become 1. And now if the user choose right answer, we have to set up a new game, a new function, a new question for the user. So in here we have to set up function with number. First of all, I will make a 3 number. Now run. Start. 1 plus 1 is 2. Minus 1 is 3. Okay, in here is 3. And you can see now we already set up a new function for that. But I want when the user, because you see we always have a three variable in here, 3 number in here. So I want if the score is about smaller than 3, we have a 2 number, and from the 3 to 10 we have a 3 number, 10 to 20 we have a 4 number, and the other bigger than 20 we have a 5 number for this question. Okay, so we will quiz in here. If our score is smaller than 3, so we will set up function with 2 number. Okay, now if 3 smaller than score and smaller and score smaller than 10. Okay, so in here we will set up function number is 3. Okay, else 10 smaller than score and score smaller than 20. We will set up our function with number 4 number in here, and else the other we will set up 5. Okay, now we finished our check answer in here. As you can see in here, start, score in here 2, 3, 1, 3. Now we have 3 number, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. Now in here we have a 4 number. Okay, that's perfect. So how far can you play with this game? Okay, if I correct wrong answer, we come back to start. Okay, so we already finished our game in here. In next section, I will help you to increase to update our game to better function for this game. Okay.